strategies, so you need computational power. So basically, whatever you can do in buffers of C++, you do.
The ability to see is for time series, like the PS in R.
Which one do you mean?
This is for the airframes like data panel.
Yeah.
And the PC is for the time series.
Sí.
Worms and time.
Well, that data frame is used for time series also, because you have index, columns, yeah? At least, well, with columns you can have one asset per column, yeah, linked to an index. Series is just, I can explain it now. The best way for explaining these new data structures, data frame and series, is that it's basically a transposition of Excel. So basically you have so a data frame is this. It has three parts. Okay, let me do the drawing. It has three elements, a data frame, okay? Index. It has an index. It's an Excel, I mean, no. It has an index. It has columns. So, columns. And it has rows. Yeah? That's a data frame. It's very useful because in the end, in financial markets, we work a lot with temporal series. Okay, temporal series. I'm doing a really high-level explanation because this we're going to be covering in the other subject. Yeah? So it's like an extra that we are doing, but I will explain all of this on April. Temporal series. Temporal series basically is data that is linked to a specific date. Yes? And this is very important in finance because in finance we have what we call open, high, low, close, volume data. Maybe you've seen sometimes if you check investing or any website trading view, you recognize how, well, one way of expressing this data, no? You know the candlestick plots. It's not a box plot, box plot is a statistical plot. This one is one way, typical way, of representing level 1 data, open, high, low, close. We have a high, we have a maximum, a minimum, and we have an open and close, yes? Well, the idea is that you can have, you can have the open and the close this way or reversed. No? It basically means if you have a red candle or a green candle, if it goes up, yes, the closing is higher than the low, than the open, sorry. So, higher. Yeah, this is the how candlesticks works, and then you have the number of contracts for the time period. This can be daily, this can be in seconds, in minutes, there's multiple time frames that you can check for stocks. And don't worry that because we will be covering on April everything. Okay, so normally we have the dates here on the index, yeah? We have the dates here on a daily basis, and we have the open, high, low, close on columns. Well, there's many ways you can structure that. But the idea is that you can see that this is really more, it's defined for data analysis. Yeah. You remember lists in Python is just a vector, yes? To store data in a linear way. Okay, it's useful, but this is more professional. Yeah, for that. Dictionaries, okay, it's for data that is linked into key and values, is also useful, but this is more specific for data analysis. And that's the idea. How this Yahoo Finance works? Well, the most important function that it has is download. Yeah, you put yf.download, remember what we did the other day, that we highlight this download part. We can do right click and go to definition. Yes, let's see if you can do it. Doing this, basically what you are going to the exact file where this download function is, and you can analyze it. Yeah, because it's in Python, it's easy to understand.
Opens a new tab, right?
Yeah, it opens a new file because this is just a file. Yeah, so in the end, when you have understand the process, when you do pip install Yahoo Finance, you download a folder of files into one folder of yours. Yeah. Doing global definition, you go exactly where this function is defined.
So when you say it downloads, that would imply that it's connected to somehow Yahoo Finance.
Well, it makes requests, actually. It's web scraping. It's basically using another library, for example, requests. It's using Beautiful Soup, well, it's called VS4. It's using libraries for web scraping. When you basically do ef.download, it's web scraping. Actually, it's web scraping this. You see this table here? Well, it reminds of a data frame, right? You have the index with the dates, November 6, well, whatever, excluding, I mean, this is business days, remember, in finance, we don't have natural years, we have business years. So it's for analyzing, for example, I mean, we use normally 252, maybe 255, depending on the year. But have it in mind, because you're not going to see weekends on the dates if you do downloads of price.
It's 252, right?
Yeah, so you analyze it for normally. Okay, let's do one thing that maybe can be useful for your, because we're not going to be seeing each other till April. Let me show you one thing that maybe can be useful for you. Do you know the Federal Reserve of San Luis, or macro? Yes? How do you download the data there? So, more or less, what you do, you go for...
Go to Excel and then download the data.
No, I mean, for example, unemployment rate, no? Okay, you click here, unemployment rate, and you basically download it here, no? Okay, let's do it in Python, and you will see that it's maybe more easy, more practical. You need to install one library for this. It's called Pandas Data Reader. Pandas lower dash, yeah, lower dash important, data reader. I think, pip install. Pip install. Tell me if it's. Okay, let's see. ¿La tenías?
Tenía problemas con mi computador viejo que tiene problemas con todo lo que con el computador.
Yes, it has worked. Yeah, it seems to work. Well, what's that library? It's not related to pandas. Yeah, it puts pandas here, but it's not related to the library. This one, it's very useful. It's the one I use for this Federal Reserve of San Luis because it has well, one specific module for that provider. We're going to be calling. Well, let me do the whole thing. One moment. We're going to be doing import pandas data reader as WE, for example, it's conventional. I need to install it. One second. You install pandas data reader. Okay, it seems to work. Let me understand it. Okay, and we do something like. Yes, you can see in the documentation also you could go to definition, understand how the parameters work, etc. But just let me show you the basic usage of this. We need to know the ticker. Okay, so in this case, it's unemployment rate. The ticker would be exactly what you see at the right of the name on all variables. Okay, so you basically copy this. Yeah, you put it as a list on the first parameter. So you put rate, and basically the second parameter, or the second argument. Remember, positional arguments, name arguments that we spoke yesterday about functions. Thread. Okay, so you need to put the name of the provider, thread, in lower caps. And for example, you can specify the start and end of the range figure that you want to download. Okay, and if I remember correctly, if I do this, I have downloaded the unemployment rate. Yeah, in this case, in a data frame. Okay.
Right, you said because it's the name of the website.
It's the name, see, basically you are telling the library that this is the website that it has to load. Okay. This is very, well, it's useful, let me tell you why. Because this has a problem. The problem is that you need to know the ticker. Yeah? So for example, what I have done in my work, I wanted to make a data set of all the macro that exists in the world. Okay. What was my problem? I need to find a way to know all the tickers, no? Because okay, and rate maybe it's easy, or no, unemployment rate. Okay, but there's tickers that are quite difficult to understand. If you go, I don't know,
I don't know why it says syntax error.
on certain categories, yeah, syntax error. Yeah, for example, you see tickers, there are tickers that are quite complicated, so it's impossible to match it in any way. Well, actually there's a way. This Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis has an API. An API means that they offer you some kind of official way to connect to them, yes, and use big data. Well, this API is free, but you need to register if you want. I mean, we have downloaded data without registering, which is it's good, but there's a way that registering to the API, yeah, you can do calls into categories. Now I don't remember exactly the URL, but the idea is that you are able to search for all the categories you have inside this Federal Reserve and download all the tickers. Yes. So I can show you on April 8th, if it's of interest, I can show it to you. Well, there's basically 700,000 macro variables. And basically, you generate them.
How do you do it again?
I can show it to you because I don't remember the process and we will be losing time. I can show it to you on April if you want. But basically, the idea is that they offer you an API, this Federal Reserve. You need to register. They give you a key. You put the key. It's private, but it's free in the end. And you can access specific category pages. And each category is classified in a certain way. You download all the categories. So you basically do a program that iterates over a get parameter that is numerical. For example, cat equal 1. Okay, you know that with a for loop for I in range, for example, no, range 999. You know that you can put here I. Yes, you understand this, no? Well, doing this loop, you can scrap all categories, all macro data classified, the tickers, 700,000. And after that, using Pandas data reader, you can go to function in facts. That's quite useful. For example. Okay, guys, just for finishing. Yesterday I saw a video that I wanted to recommend you. It's from. Let me show you the name. If you're interested in the one word, but I like it quite a lot. And I think
I was
I'm not gonna put it, but I want to show you this one. Yeah, this one. Maybe I can send you the link and you can share it. If you like this, because we are finishing and we're not gonna be using till April. This well, podcast is from the one head of Baliasny Asset Management, which is I think one of the top 4 hedge funds of the United States. I like this guy quite a lot. I follow him on Twitter. It's a good idea to have a Twitter and follow people that is interesting. And he speaks about the actual problems that they have in terms of portfolio management, sizing, backtesting, in a very quite technical, but I think it's understandable enough to recommend it to you. And well, it explains the problems that they are facing on in the bully side in order to do strategies and things like that. More things. Let's see, more or less, what we have done today, we will be recapitulating on April. One would think, I mean, last year happened, but it happens every year, but last year, for example, was remarkable that people almost forget everything about Python which is normal. I mean, there's 4 or 5 months. So
Plus, we don't have time to do much.
yeah, because also this is what happens now. Well, normal master it's the usual thing. A master, you always go escañado, always go with the tongue outside. But at least I don't know, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days before the starting of class, maybe remember the important things. I mean, data types. Yeah, remember integer, float, string, boolean. Compound data types, list, dictionaries, more or less how they work. Data frame and series, we're going to explain it again, but a few things that will help you follow the classes, because this is more like a playground than in Python, relaxed, with exercises that are more or less easy, but the real subject is tough. I mean, it's coding intense, there's the statistics, there's many things that can be challenging, but I think it's very interesting. And you will learn scrapping, you will learn how to do your own databases, how to do a descriptive analysis, how to develop strategies, how to analyze the market, market breadth, macro, how everything is connected. I think it's a good subject, but it's tough.
I mean, there hasn't been a single thing in this master that's not tough.
So, well, it's normally every master, it has to be tough if you want to. If you want a good master, it has to be. More or less that's all. Yeah.
I just want a question, like, with this error, with this problem, I just want to know.
Yeah.
This is what we do in your
Yes. That together. Remember that in Python, it's case sensitive. Yeah. You need to exactly. Sorry, you need to exactly put it as it is.
data reader, right? With no
Sí.
capital.
The same with data frame. The D and the F are caps. If you don't put it in caps, it's not data frame.
So when I import the data reader with 2 lowercase, did it import?
No.
So how to import it correctly? This one. Import data reader as,
See, that's correct. WB dot data reader. Data reader is the class that is inside the.
So technically,
It is correct. Sí. Yes? And you can download multiple tickers. If you know the ticker, you can put it on a list separated with comments. Yeah. Okay, guys, more or less I think that this is all. Any questions, suggestions, or things that you want to comment? Yeah.
So later, I'll send you an email because I was really interested in the web scrapping of the thread, like the
Okay.
API and stuff like that. But then
This
later I'll
of
send you
the
an
thread.
email. Yeah,
Ah, okay. The,
I will send you an email.
the,
So maybe you
it's
should-
basically, well, I don't remember exactly how, but inside the web,
Okay.
you go to API. I think there's a part that tells API. You click, you register. They will give you a key. Okay. This key is private. You store it somewhere, and I can tell you the commands or the small script to scrap all the tickers. But there's 700,000 variables. It can last 16 hours scrapping or yeah.
Okay.
But some of them are really useless. I mean, there are strange things, yeah. But I think the important ones are 8,000. I work with 8,000 variables. Because there's models that use macro. I have it classified. It's financial interest rates, different kind of classifications, and I like to do some kind of Monte Carlo with different sets of variables in random way. So I try to optimize results, testing different combinations. Sí.
Bueno, no sé si dices que no lo mismo que yo, pero I would want to work already on, maybe not this month, but like maybe on Christmas on this.
Yeah.
So
This is a thread.
with everything, yeah.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah,
send it
practice
to
a
you.
little bit.
In Barcelona, I can send it to you. I send it to him if you want, and he
Yeah,
can.
but all the Python notebooks maybe from April.
Or a Jupyter Notebook or Google Colab.
Yeah.
But all of you individually need to do your APK.
Yeah,
So you need to register individually.
Bueno,
You go to, now I don't remember, but about, maybe create new account here, but I think there's a specific way of doing this. Let's say thread API. APK here. You go to APK. Yes. And you basically need to request or view your APKs. Well, I will explain you the process in Barcelona because now I think it's messy to do now because I don't remember. But basically it's that you request APK, you register, they give you a key. That key is the one you need to use when doing the request to the thread, and you can basically go, well, there's a specific URL with category parameter get that you can iterate over it, download everything, and you can classify all the thread in local. So all the thread in your computer.
I was gonna say, so what's the difference? The difference is one connects to the website and the other one is local. Right, the API. So what's the difference between using the Panda that you just said to the?
No, Pandas Data Reader is the thing that you will use when you know all the tickers. But first you generate a data set of all the macro in the world. After that, you can choose what to download with Pandas Data Reader.
What about this difference? This one,
This one is the, well, they allow you to access the data in a certain way. You do this kind of scrapping for categories. You map everything. So the idea is that you map everything that the thread has.
yeah, but can you don't do that like using the import Panda data reader and all stuff?
Well, yes, but not the data, I think. Maybe yes, but.
So no, I'm just trying to understand like.
Pandas Data Reader is just to download, knowing the tickers. Now I need to know all the tickers that the thread has.
So if I wanted to download all the tickers without using API, is it doable?
With Pandas Data Reader. But you need to know the tickers. I don't know the tickers.
So you have to know all the 10,000 tickers.
If you want to download everything, yes. But I don't do massively download.
Of course, yeah. It's more efficient to do it from the API, you say, because then you have all the.
The API will help you to map all the tickers, but not to download the data. Or maybe yes, maybe you can download the data using the API, but at least Pandas Data Reader is very optimized to download the thread.
So once you have all the tickers on the API.
You have ticker, name, I mean explanation,
And then
description,
what do you do
popularity, even popularity. So you can see which variables are
So
most
after you identify all the tickers
Yeah.
and stuff from the API, you go back to the.
exactly say, okay, I want all the finance interest rates variable macro, all of them. I get all the tickers. I pass it on the first parameter of this. I mean, you will pass it here. You put here all the parameters, all the tickers, and that's it.
But you have to somehow download whatever you have on the API into your.
Well, you need to know the tickers. So what are you going to do?
No, I know. Once you do the work with the API to
Sí.
identify all the tickers and stuff,
Yes.
then how do you bring it to
Now
here?
it's very easy. You store it on a CSV
Oh, okay.
or on Excel, and then you just load it, pass it as a list, and that's
And
it.
then start doing.
It's very easy. Don't worry about that because this is
Oh.
normal Python. Well, this is for macro. You have also sentiment, fundamentals, and investment. There's a lot of different data.
So whatever you do on R and stuff like that, you can do here, right? What is
Mm.
R? The R to do the metrics and stuff.
Which, well, I think that for your master, it can be useful. That's why I'm explaining it now.
No, of course, yeah. It is.
Because maybe you can, these months, you can aprovecharlo, como se dice.
Take advantage of it.
Now, well, we can do it on April again, or another way, but maybe if you know it now, you can figure it out. Well, I will send you a Google Colab. Okay, guys. I hope it has been interesting. Well, a bit. Learning Python is always boring. I mean, there's no chance to that. But once you learn Python well, it's when the fun starts.
Yeah, it was interesting. Thank you.
Será que marco uno de 15 minutitos para ir a ese grano.
No. Y dale, ¿no? A ver,
Pues ya ves tú, Gerard, yo me he tenido que bajar en el Conda porque al abrir, o sea, al intentar hacer el Conda Start, me ha petado la aplicación, la he tenido que desinstalar y reinstalar.
Y han apretado, cabrón.
Ponte el disco ya, sí. ¿Te apetece?
Pero tampoco le podéis normal a la
Voy a utilizar.